What's up, 412? Y'all, I'm so excited. Incredible. Y'all, I've never done this before. This is crazy just seeing all this sort of stuff. It's so great to be here. Some of you that are kind of still looking for a seat, if you make your way this direction, there is a little, like maybe 6 people could sit over there, but that's about it. It's so good to see you guys. Tonight, I want to share with you, and I'm only going to keep you for about 10 minutes. And so you're like, we don't have chairs. My butt already hurts. Anybody with me? Your butt already hurts. All right. I'm going to keep you for 10 minutes, right? And then we're going to go outside. We're going to go party, right? But I do want to share something with you really quickly before we go. And today is actually an extension of a conversation that we started last week on freedom and what freedom looks like. And my buddy Timmy helped me tell about freedom. Anybody know Timmy? Why don't you guys check out Timmy and our conversation on freedom from last week. Check this out. Timmy's going to help us understand freedom tonight because here's what the world thinks, or here's what you've been taught in your culture.
Listen up, y'all. Check this out.
Freedom is. We've been taught, or we think that freedom means I can do whatever I want to do. I can't wait to graduate high school. My parents aren't going to be in charge of me anymore. I can do what I want. I can stay up as late as I want. I can eat what I want. I can go where I want. True freedom is the absence of all limitation. I can do whatever I want. And that's what the world is telling you that freedom is. So Timmy sees all of us, and he's like, I don't want to be limited by my bowl. Timmy says, I don't want to be limited by my bowl. No, I'm good. I want to be free. I'm free. Timmy's free. Y'all look at him. He's free. Whoa. Are you free, buddy? Wait. Is Timmy free? No. Is Timmy dying? He needs save yourself. Save yourself. Get in, save yourself. No, Timmy needs a savior. Freedom is not the absence of limitations. Freedom is not the absence of saying, I want to do whatever I want to do. Because Timmy was created with a design, and that design was to live underwater. And if Timmy were to tell his designer, or if Timmy were to tell his creator, I want to be free, what he is doing is he is dying. And so the definition of freedom, and I want you to write these 2 words down, is liberating limitations. Liberating limitations. And what is a liberating limitation? Well, liberating limitation is not the absence of limitations, but it is finding the right limitations to live in. Because if Timmy wanted true freedom, I can do whatever I want. He was on this table and he was dying. But that's not true freedom. True freedom is not the absence of limitation. True freedom is finding the right limitations.
Come on, say amen, somebody.
Honestly, that was so much fun to talk about freedom in that way. And y'all, give me 5 more minutes. Can y'all do that? 5 minutes to talk about freedom a little bit more. Because I want you to have an incredible, full life. You guys get me right here? You guys got me this right here? I want you to have a great life. I want you to have a full life. But here's the problem. Many people think that if I live my life for Jesus, or I become a Christian, or I follow God or something like that, that God is boring, that God is limiting me, God is controlling me, and I can't have that much fun if I follow Jesus. And if I'm honest, I've thought that before. Anybody else think that before? That if I follow God, I'm not going to have that much fun anymore because he's going to control me, he's going to limit me. I can't do that much anymore. And that was what we think. And so to kind of help us with this, I brought out my whiteboard. Jimmy loves whiteboards for sure. And we kind of view it in this way of our limitations. It's supposed to be a circle, looks like an egg, kind of. And we kind of view this as our limitations of like, here's us in the middle, and we're like, I can only live, and God is trying to keep me, and all I can, this is all the opportunity that I have, because when we view it as a circle and we view freedom as a circle, we view it in such a way of like, when I do good things, I'm in the circle. And when I do bad things, then God kicks me out of the circle. And then I do good things to get back in the circle. And then it just becomes this cyclical lifestyle of feeling good, feeling bad, feeling great at church, feeling terrible on the weekend. But I'm trying to tell you that this is not freedom. And this isn't even a correct view of what God is trying to tell us about his limitations. Because now, don't get this message wrong. God definitely has boundaries for you to live in. There are absolutely boundaries. And you may think these boundaries, this is kind of God's design for us, is living inside of the boundaries. And anything outside of God's design is missing the mark, there's a big churchy word for this. It's called sin. Anything outside of living inside these boundaries, we call this sin out here. We call living in God's design in here. But again, you look at that from that view, and you're like, that doesn't look like fun. That looks like God's trying to control me. That looks like God's trying to contain me. That looks like I can't have a full life like that. But my prayer for you is that I change your perspective just a little bit tonight. Enough that you come back next week and you say, I want to learn more about this. Then you come back the next week, I want to learn more about this. Because, yes, there are boundaries, but no, this is not the right perspective. You want to know what the right perspective of the boundaries, the limitations that God has placed on us? The right perspective actually looks more like this. Like a deep well. And yes, there are boundaries, but there is no limit to the amount of goodness, the amount of grace, the amount of joy, the amount of peace, the amount of relationship, the amount of life and life to the full in Jesus. And so you want true freedom. Yes, there are limits that we must live in, but it is bottomless. It is incredible. And there's a big church word for it. It's called eternal. Jesus says this. He's preaching one time, and he looks out at his audience. He's like, look, I have come so that you might have life. And you're like, oh, that sounds great, that I might have life. Throw that on the screen for me. John 10:10. I have come so that you might have life. And he doesn't stop there. He continues. You know what he says? Life to the full. Abundant life, full life, joyous life, not boring, full and abundant and fun. And I want you to know, I want you to come to this color party. I want you to hang out with us tonight, eat ice cream, eat chicken, go to the color party. I want us to experience a lot of fun tonight, and I want you to think of this. Can y'all do that? Think of this and say, God isn't trying to control me. He's trying to liberate me. He's trying to free me. And if I live within the design of my Creator, I am liberated to live full and to live free. Because let me tell you this. Again, in John 10, he says, I've come so that you may have life and life to the full. Did you know Jesus died? Did you know Jesus was beaten, that he was made fun of? Did you know somebody spit in Jesus' face? Somebody ripped his beard out? Did you know somebody whipped him? Did you know somebody blindfolded him, beat him in the face? Do you know eventually he climbed up a hill? There's no mountain he wouldn't climb up coming after you. He climbed up a hill called Golgotha, the place of the skull, and he went to a cross, and he died. And then for 3 days, he was in hell, and he got the keys of hell and came back to life so that you might have life. Let me tell you this. Jesus did not go through all of that just so he could limit you and say, you can't have sex before marriage. You can't get high. You can't get drunk. That's not why Jesus died. Jesus died to give you life, not take it away from you. He died to give you life. And so it's more. It's more than you could ever dream. It's more than you could ever dream. And you may not believe this at this point in your life because there are other wells in your life. There are other wells that you can find a little bit of satisfaction out of, a little bit of fullness out of. You got relationships. You got sports. You got money. And they'll give you a little bit of life. But you'll eventually get to a place and be like, there's got to be more than this. God is everlasting. His abundant life for you will never stop. So I got two types of audiences in this room tonight. Many of you have kind of grown up in church. And many of you haven't been to church in a while. Tonight might be your first time. You're like, man, hurry up and get to the color. Get to the chicken. But let me just, for 1 minute, let me speak to my audiences. And you can already tell the music's here. We're going to sing another song, and then we're going to go. But listen to me, my two audiences. Number one, maybe you're here tonight, and you've always looked at God as he's trying to control you. I'm here to tell you some good news tonight. He's here to liberate you. Because if you find life in all the wrong places, you'll hit the rock bottom. You'll hit rock bottom. I don't want you to hit rock bottom. I want you to have fullness of life in Jesus Christ. I want you to have fullness of life. And Jesus died so that you might have life, not that he would take it away. So if you're looking at it and saying, well, if I really commit to this, that'll be boring. And I'm here to tell you, it's not. Let tonight be a picture that life with Jesus is life to the full, and it's incredible. All right? And then my second audience, all right, here's my second audience. You've grown up in church, and at this point in your life, you're bored with it. You're kind of bored with it. You know how I had Timmy to help me out with this illustration of freedom? Well, I need Dory to help me out with this illustration, because if you're bored in Christianity, that means you need to just keep digging, just keep digging, just keep digging, just keep digging. Don't give up on God. If you're bored, it's not God's fault, it's your fault. You got to start digging. God isn't here just to entertain you. He's here to give you some tools to grow and have life to the full. And so take advantage of 412. Take advantage of your small group. Take advantage of the deep, meaningful relationships that you can have with each other. Just keep digging. Just keep digging. Just keep digging, right? Just keep digging. Just keep digging. Just keep digging, right? Listen, I got to tell you this. I'm up here tonight because I love God. I'm up here tonight because I love Jesus. And not I love the Bible and I have a relationship with the Bible, not because I have a relationship with a list of rules, not because I love God because of what he can do for me, not because of what I think my future might look like. I'm up here tonight because through the sacrifice of Jesus on the cross, I have an opportunity to build a relationship with the creator of the universe. A relationship to find out what this creator loves, what my God loves, what he likes to talk about, what he likes to do with his time, what he likes to bless, what he likes to invest his time into. And I get to know that because through Jesus, not because of me, but because of Jesus, I have an opportunity to talk to the living God. And I love him. And I find the limits of what he's asked me to live. And I say, I will live within it. And he has liberated me to live life and life to the full. And I'm telling you, it's not boring. It's not controlling. It's liberating and it's free. And I want that for you. So tonight is just an invitation that if you have a little bit of fun tonight, I want it to be a picture of like, who's this crazy dude yelling at me and writing and you can't read any of his words, but he says, I can have life to the full through Jesus. I'd love for you to come back next week and hear more about that. And just grow with us. That's all 412 is. It's growth. The color party, so that was for those who thought they were bored, that Christianity is boring. The colors is also for someone who is bored with Christianity, but you need to keep digging. When you throw this color tonight, I want it to be a reminder for the rest of your life that your relationship with Jesus is very personal, but it's not meant to be kept private. It's meant to be shared. You are meant to show your true colors. Romans 1:16 says, I am not ashamed of the good news, the gospel of Jesus. For it is the power of God unto salvation for all who believe. So when you take pictures tonight, take group pictures, have a lot of fun. And when you throw that color, let it remind you of I'm not ashamed of this. Because God is not out there to control me. He's out there to free me. He's out there to liberate me. And I have good news to share with you tonight. If you want life and life to the full, it's found in Jesus Christ. Stand to your feet. I'm done. I love you guys. Listen to this. Hey, can I pray for you? Everybody stay. Nobody's leaving yet. We're not leaving yet. We're not leaving yet. Nobody leave. Real quick, hey, I know you're excited, but I want to pray for you. Anybody will let me pray for you? Anybody cool with that? All right, tap your neighbor on the shoulder and say, hey, let Pastor pray for you. Awesome. All right, here we go. God, I thank you so much for 412. I thank you so much for the color party. I thank you so much for the joy and the liberation and the freedom that only you can give. And God, I pray That tonight is a reminder. It is a moment that turns into momentum for our lives, that we look at you and we say, you're not here to control us, you're here to liberate us, you're here to free us. And that life and life to the full that's eternal, is never ending, is only found in you, Jesus. So God, do what you do, because you have come to seek and save the lost. And God, as we go into a time of a few songs of reflection, God, would you give courage to those who follow you to lift their hands and worship you like they've never lifted before, never sang before. And God, for those who have never been in an environment like this, would you meet them here? And as we draw near to you, would you draw near to us? If you love Jesus, say amen.